Hi, it's Jackie with Paper Moments, and I wanted to share with you a second project that I created using the Cartabella All Aboard collection. The second project actually goes with the first, and with my first tutorial on the mini album. So what I did was I created a little box. It's not little, but a box that I'm going to show you how the album can fit in. The box is 6 1/8 by 8 1/8, and then it has 2 1/4 inch spines, sides, and on the bottom it's 2 1/4. That's going to give you room for when you add pictures to your album. So let me go ahead and get the album, and I've got the inside totally papered as well as the outside, and your album's just going to fit right in there. And what I've done is I've added magnets here, because if you remember, my flap on my album was magnetically shut, and I've added it too. So now you've got like a little suitcase that I created with adding the box, and the album sits in there. And as you can see back here, you have plenty of room for expansion when you add your pictures to your album. So so that's my second project to go along with my first. So cute, isn't it? I thought it was cute. I love making boxes to put my albums in, and this just I thought would be really cute to do, to have the flap come over and act as the front of the suitcase. So that is the second project for Country Craft Creations using the Cartabella All Aboard paper collection, and I will list in the descriptions the cut sizes for the board, the cutting guide, once I finish with the tutorial. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hi everyone, it's Jackie with Paper Moments, and I'm here to share with you my second project for my July design team for Country Craft Creations. This is for the All Aboard album by Cartabella, and this is going to be the box that my album sets in. So to start with, you want to cut 2 pieces of chipboard that are 8 1/8 by 6. So I have both of those cut, and then you're going to want to cut 2 pieces that are 6 by 2 3/8, and those are going to be your sides, and then you're going to cut one that is 8 1/8 by 2 3/8. You're also going to need to cut some paper strips in order to bind the chipboard together. And for those of you that don't know how to make those or are not familiar with them, it's really simple, and I'm going to show you real quick how to do it. What you're going to need is 12 by 12 cardstock, and let me find my bone folder. What did I do with it? Bear with me here a minute. I just had it. Okay. Can't be far, although my desk is an absolute mess. So my table is, let me look for it real quick. I apologize there. There it is, right here. I hid it underneath the album. Okay, so on your cardstock, that's going to be 12 by 12, and I'm going to show you just on a piece of scrap that I have. So 12 by 12 cardstock, you're going to score it 1/2 inch all the way across. So you want to score your paper 1/2 inch all the way across. Okay? And again, this is not a full 12 by 12, and I'm just kind of showing you here. Okay, and it's off, so I'm going to cut off this one edge. So this is actually 5 inches by 12. So and I can show you real quick. Okay, so you've got your 12 by 12. Imagine this is your 12 by 12, okay? So you're going to cut 1 inch. So since mine is 5 by 12, I'm going to move this down to 4. And I'm going to cut right across on the 4-inch, okay? And that's going to give me a 1-inch strip with a score line down the middle. And you want to do that all the way across the paper, so you're going to have, so I'm moving that one was 4, so I moved this one to 3, and I'm going to move this one to 2, and then I'm going to move this one to 1, okay, and so you're going to have these strips that are 1 inches, like that. That's all you have to do for it, so now I've got some extra ones, that's great, and I save them. If I don't use them, I save them, and that way I always have extras when I need it. So what you're going to want to do is you want to grab 2 of them, and you want to cut them to the size of the width of your longest chip, or your chipboard, which is going to be 8 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these to 1 1/8. And I'm saving the extras here, keeping those. Alright, so I've got 2 of them cut. I'm going to fold it over on the score line. I'm going to miter my edges just a little bit, not a whole lot, just so they're not a actual square. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure them now to make sure that I'm even with my chipboard, which I am. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You can use score tape or any type of adhesive you want. I tend to use my art glitter glue because it's quick and it allows you to move the paper in case you mess up. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to there, line this up. Now I don't want it all the way touching the score line. Alright, I want a little bit of room in between. And then just push it down, okay? Then you're going to take your 8 1/2 by 2 3/8, which is your bottom, and add your glue to this side of your cardstock. Match it corner to corner, and I'm going to leave space in between. Can you see the space in between there? It's about a fingernail. And I'm doing that so when we fold it up, it actually is movable. Alright, so now you want to get your other one that you cut 8 1/8. And again, score it on the score line. Miter your corners. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just gives it a clean edge all the way around. I'm going to add glue to my 1/2, and I'm going to put it on here. And again, I'm leaving a little bit of space between the edge of the chipboard and the score line. And go ahead and so that's what it's going to look like on the outside, and here's the inside. You're going to take your next 8 1/8 by 6, and again, just edge to edge with the other pieces, the other scoreboard, or chipboard, I'm sorry. And again, leaving a little bit of a room, again, about a fingernail width. And that's going to be your box. And that allows it to, by doing that edge in there, it allows it to lift up, okay? Sorry, I just got a text from my daughter. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our sides. And so you want to cut, you're going to need 1, 2, 4 of them cut at 6 inches. And again, you want to miter the corners. So I took 2, cut it right in half. You want to go ahead and fold on your score line. And score that all the way down so it wasn't going to go over. And I go ahead and I do burnish them down a little bit just to make it so it's a nice clean edge. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to miter my corners. Mitering all of them here real quick so I can keep my little itsy bitsy pieces on the other side. Go ahead and add your adhesive to one side and then line it up. Alright, why is this? Alright, something's not right. 6, 6. Okay, I don't know what I did wrong there, but I didn't cut them at 6, obviously. So I'm going to go back and do it this way. I'm just going to mark it with my pencil here. Okay, let's try this again, sorry. Okay. Line it up so it's even again, just right up next to. I'll do the other side here. Where I had the glue on the other one, it didn't have it. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of my there's my issue right there. They're not 6 inches. They're 6 1/8 is why. So let me cut some more another piece of scoreboard. So 6 1/8. So it's 6 1/8 by 2 3/8. No, it's not. It's 6 1/4 by 2 3/8. So it's 6 1/4 by 2 3/8. Boy, I apologize. I cut these the other day, and I guess I didn't really cut them right. Obviously, I didn't, huh? All right, so let's cut these again. This is an old cutter that I used for my scoring, so that is why. Alright, let's see now if this is going to match up. That's going to be match up. So it's 6 1/4 by 2 3/8. So I'm going to add this one right here, and again, leaving that space between the two. Do my other side. So when you cut your papers for your, to bind them together, to connect them together, you want it 6 1/4, not 6 1/8. Turn that over. All right. Now, let's cut 2 more of these that are 6 1/4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add these to the other side of my side. This one I got over the edge a little bit, so I am going to cut it off here because I don't want it over the edge of my chipboard. Okay, so now I'm going to add just on this side here, my adhesive, and I'm going to lift this side up and this side up, and I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to adhere this side, and again, leaving a little bit of space. Make sure you're matching up your edges. Now before I do this side, I'm going to go ahead and you want to cut a piece for the bottom, for here. right here, all right, to connect those two. So I'm gonna, again, measure and mark it with my pencil. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm adding glue to both sides. And then I'm gonna hold those together and meet those up like that. Now, before I do the other side, I want to add my strips inside to give it support. So I'm going to cut 2 of them the length of the inside. And I'm going to add with my score up, I'm going to add glue to both sides. And I'm going to add glue along the inside of that seam, just to give it some extra hold there. And I'm going to take that inside of that fold of the score line, and I'm going to put it right inside the seam there. I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of push it down in there, easy, and that's going to give me strength. And I'm going to do the other side the same way. I'm going to fold over my strip, miter, both sides, both edges, and add a little bit of glue along that seam. And I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to both sides. And just stick it right in there. See if I can hold it up so you can see. So what I'm doing is I'm just wedging it in right there into that little bit of a groove that I left between the 2 pieces of chipboard. I added a little bit of glue along that seam, and then I'm going to put those down. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing for the inside bottom part on the inside of this one here. So let me cut another piece. I'm going to add my glue again with my fold up and add adhesive on that. And then this is going to be a tight fit, but I'm going to squeeze it in there. If you can get the glue in there on the seam, try to do that. I know I'm not going to be able to the way this is, so I'm just going to take my bone folder and make sure that my paper is adhered down. So now you have a finish edge on all 3 corners. Okay? Now you want to do the same thing over here on this side. As we did on the other. Bring it up, fold it over, matching your edges and making sure that the top and the bottom are even. got your inside on the other side now. And again, fold on the inside of the fold. I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive. And here those adhere to both edges. Now I've got my bottom, and then this is the top. Now I need to add the paper in here on this side, just like I did the other on the other side, and mitering my corners there. Okay, so I've got my strips. Here's the fold, the valley. Here's the peak. I'm adding glue with the peak up. Go in there and add a small line of glue along that seam. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here. Taking my bone folder to make sure it's along that seam. Pressing my... This one I got just a little bit over the top. Again, I don't want it over the top, so I'm just going to trim it off. Okay, now let's do the other side. Taking my bone folder and going right down the middle, so it's, make sure it's in the seam. And then you've got, and now we need to do the bottom. And I'm just going to measure it off the outside of this one. And again, with my peak on the top, I'm adding the glue on both sides. And then just fitting it down in there, up against that seam. Okay, now my album's going to fit right in there. Just like that. Okay. And it gives you a little bit of room for when your album expands, once you add your pictures, so we'll be fine there. So now all you have to do is you want to do the top. So we want to cut another one. We want to cut 2 for the sides. And then you're going to cut 2 at 1 1/8, which is the length of your outside. Because you don't want to leave this edge rough, you want to have it covered as well. And I'm just mitering the edges on all of them. And I'm going to get my trash out of the way here. Okay, so I'm going to put this on before I put my sides on. I get right on my sides. That I did. And that one is a little bit longer than I want it, so I'm going to trim it a little bit. Alright. And then this one, and this one is a little bit longer than I want too, so I want to trim it some more. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm adding my glue to one side, and then I'm going to put in the inside. So I'm going to put the glued side on the inside and fold it over. And make sure it's down good. Okay. And I'm taking my bone folder and I'm going over the top so I have a nice, clean, smooth edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive to the other side, which will go on the outside of the box. And I'm going to do that to the other side as well, and I'm going to measure my, so it's just slightly a little bit, not much, so I'm just going to take a little bit off here. I'm going to add adhesive to the one side, and again, this is inside the valley of your paper. Line it up, edge to edge. Make sure it's adhered down. And this, come back and add the glue to the other side. And then take your bone folder, smooth over the top so you have a clean, nice, smooth edge. And then make sure you adhere it down. Okay, let's do our sides. And this one is too long. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the long pieces. Put my glue on one side. Add my glue to the back. Take my bone folder and smooth it over the top so it's a nice smooth edge. And get the glue, extra glue off because I have some on my fingers, obviously. Okay, so there you go. So you've got all your sides are smooth and covered except for this one. They've got to do this one. And I'll measure that. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I have smooth edges on all sides of my box. And I have all kinds of leftover pieces. Like I said, I'm going to hang on to them. I just add them together, put a paper clip on them, and then I have them when I go to do another project. Get rid of all these scraps. Now, your box is ready to decorate with your designer paper, but before I decorate mine, because it's holding my album, and my album cover is magnetically closed, and the lid is going to flip over the top of my box, I want to add my magnets on the outside of this, so I need to, let's see, where's my magnets? Add 3 of the magnets to it. So, one, 2, 3. Alright, so now I'm going to take this off. Paper off, the backing off the magnets. And I want to add those magnets to my cover, so that way when my album is in my box, it's not going to fall out either because I've got the magnets holding it. So, yes, it's using a little bit more magnets than you normally would on a album because you're going to 3 on to hold the outside. So I've got 3 positives, 3 negatives, and I got 3 more on this side. But that's what I want because I want to make sure that my design was created so that the lid would flip over onto this. So now I can add my pattern paper. And for my pattern paper, I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to use this one right here. So let me put this back in and I'll show you. So I think I'm going to use this one here. So it will look like that when I'm done. So that's my plan. Okay, so this is 6 1/4 with height by 8 1/8. So you want to cut your paper according to that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It's 6 1/4 So I'm going to come down to 6 1/8, and it's 8 1/8, and I'm going to cut it at 8. So that way I have my blue paper as my border on this. Okay, so I want to cut the same thing, and I'm not going to be able to use this one because that is at 6. So I need my other sheet. But I can use this one for the bottom. So I want to cut this 2 3/8, which is going to be 2 1/4 by 8, because the bottom was 8 1/8. So, and that's going to be my bottom there. And then I got to cut 2 sides that are going to be 6 1/4. So it's going to be 6 1/8. By 2 3/8, which is going to be 2 1/4. So put that one there, and that's going to be my side for over there. Get the other piece out here. So this one I'm cutting at 6 1/8. By 8. Turn it around this way, cut it this way so it's a different print. And then I'm going to cut this one 2 1/4. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ink up my edges. And again, I'm inking everything in my Tim Holtz Distress Faded Jeans color, which is a blue. Sides, the other side, and then my bottom. Alright, I'm going to add my bottom first. Measure this, and I want to make sure. So yes, perfect. Okay. I'm going to add my glue. And that's the front. So when I put this on, I want to make sure my paper is correct. So, see, you've got your blue edge around it. I'm going to do the back. The back. And my blue. Go ahead and do my sides. Now, a little trick or tip, as you can see here, I didn't cover it all the way, and there's a little spot of chipboard showing. I am going to make corners out of the leather, faux leather paper that I got from Country Craft Creations, and that's going to cover that. So when I cover those, because I am going to add those. Okay, let's do the front. And now again, the front is because I have the magnets on it, and I know that they're right, and they're going to work right with my lid, or my spine cover on my album. I'm going to add glue. Now I do add glue around the edges of my magnets, just so I can get the paper to here and they're really good. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Go around my magnet so I hear it really good. And I'm okay if my magnets, I indent the magnets, because I want that paper to adhere to that glue around that magnet to hold that magnet in. Glue here, just because that's right there by that magnet. Okay, so there's my covered box, semi-covered. I'll finish decorating it, put my photo album in there, and there you go. Look at that. Okay, that's my second project for this design project, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll be back to make my third project, which is going to be a journal album to put inside my album. So, not made a journaling book before, so I'm excited to make it and try it, and I think it'll be perfect for the whole theme of this paper. Now, I am going to cut paper to cover the inside as well, but I'm not going to do that on camera, but I am going to cover the inside with paper, just so it is nice and neat in there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.